because of the impact of the COVID-19, the spillovers from the war in Ukraine, the spillovers from globalization of inflation, the spillovers from financial market tightening that's happening all over the world due to almost a synchronized and simultaneous tightening of monetary policies in most of the countries. Now, in these circumstances, I would now like to focus on some of the desirable policy priorities for the South Asian region, and I have identified 6 such policy priorities. The first policy priority for the South Asian region is obviously taming inflation. Multiple external shocks in the form of COVID-related global supply chain disruptions, food and energy crisis following the war in Ukraine, and financial market volatility arising from the aggressive monetary policy tightening have exerted sustained price pressures in the South Asian economies, which is of course felt in other parts of the world also. Now, during the first 3 quarters of 2022, food price inflation in South Asia averaged more than 20%, and that's pretty high. The region's heavy dependence on imported fossil fuels has made it vulnerable to imported fuel inflation. For successful disinflation, credible monetary policy actions accompanied by targeted supply-side interventions, fiscal, trade policy, and administrative measures have become the key instruments. While the recent softening of commodity prices and supply chain bottlenecks should help in lowering inflation going ahead, risks to growth and investment outlook may rise if inflation persists at high levels. Prioritizing price stability may therefore be the optimal policy choice for the South Asian region in the current context. This approach to disinflation, however, needs to be mindful of the rising risks to growth outlook in an environment of deteriorating prospects for global growth and trade activity. I now move to the third aspect of the third policy priority for the region, and this is in my view. That is with regard to, that focuses on raising productivity. While sustained and broad-based economic recovery remains the current policy focus, it is necessary to undertake deep structural reforms to raise the potential growth trajectories of the economies in the South Asian region. Ongoing global realignment of supply chains, green transition, and advances in technology offer new opportunities for investment and growth. But policies would need to create the congenial climate for attracting new private investment, with public sector taking the lead in areas that can create positive externalities such as infrastructure, health, and education. In this context, let me highlight, particularly in the context of raising productivity and what I have just said, in this context, let me highlight some specific areas of policy priority. First, undertaking desirable structural change would require an improvement in resource allocation, moving production from low productive sectors to high productive sectors, and promotion of innovation. Second, skill mismatches, which is a major constraint to resource reallocation, would warrant policy focus on education and skill upgradation. This is particularly important to the South Asian region, as the favorable demography of the region would require that production processes must be labor-intensive while also being globally competitive. Third, while free trade and FDI have been conventionally congenial for diffusion of technology and augmentation of productivity, the region's investment on research and development must also increase from the current low levels, and the policy environment for scientific research and startups must be made more rewarding. Fourth, investment in physical infrastructure consisting of energy, transportation, and telecommunication, which are prime drivers of productivity growth, also have to be enhanced. Infrastructure in the contemporary world of digital revolution would also include digital infrastructure, that is data centers, cellular towers, and fiber connectivity, with an emphasis on scalability and resilience. Fintech, e-commerce, edtech, health tech, and food tech are the new age growth propellers and need quality internet connectivity and reliable digital payment systems.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.